The myths of ancient Greece have enriched the world's store of literature. Our lab technician from Bristow is hoping they'll also enrich her bank balance as she returns for the second time on this, our final show of this series, to try for £1,600. So let's welcome back our hit on the myths, Sheila Aultry. Remind me what you said earlier on. How tall are you?
5 feet exactly.
Very, very proud of that. And I imagine that that has stood you in good stead on many occasions. What jobs have you had, apart from being a lab technician?
Well, I've been a pub bouncer and a morgue attendant.
I'm very glad you survived, because right now I have a question for you worth £1,600. Are you ready to hear it?
Yes, please.
And let's go. For 1,600, I'll ask you a 4-part question about a story set in Crete. 4 correct answers will win you the money. As you answer, you'll see a picture form on the video wall. That will produce a key question at the end. And part 1 of 4. Sheila, name the legendary craftsman of great skill who built a labyrinth for King Minos in Crete.
Daedalus.
Daedalus is correct. In the second part of 4, what did King Minos keep in the center of the labyrinth?
The Minotaur.
The Minotaur or Minotaur, half man, half bull. In the third part of 4, Sheila, name the daughter of Minos who gave Theseus a thread so that he could find his way through the labyrinth.
Ariadne.
Ariadne is correct in the third part. And in the fourth part of 4, Daedalus escaped from Crete with his son by making wings of wax and feathers. But alas, his son flew too close to the sun itself and fell to his death. Name that son.
Icarus.
And Icarus wins you £1,600. These are the remains that still exist at a village on a spur of Mount Parnassus. It was famous for its oracle and the priestess of Apollo who made her pronouncements there. Tell me the name of the place.
It's Delphi.
Delphi, the Delphic oracle. Well, here's hoping we meet again on the next series and we learn more about Greek mythology from Sheila Aultry. Thank you. Right now, it's time for our final player on this series. And it's a pretty safe bet that Enrico Caruso would be proud of his aficionado, our budding author, as he returns for the second time this evening to try for the Big 64. Let's applaud his last curtain call, Paul Campion. Paul, I shake your hand and wish you luck. And I am anxious to know, when you win £6,400, what will you do with it?
Well, I'm going to use some of it to fund my writing of the book about Kathleen Ferrier.
Yes, good luck with that.
Thank you. And some of it I'm going to give to the Kathleen Ferrier Cancer Fund at University College Hospital in London.
Well, I think that's a marvellous thing. You know that Lenora and we, your dear friend Lenora, and everyone in the audience and all our viewers, I'm sure, are wishing you well.
Thank you.
They will hope those blue eyes will twinkle with triumph in a few moments, but that will be after, in order, once again, not to be distracted by any sights or sounds. Yeah. We ask you to step into our brain ball, the isolator.
Right.
Once again, Paul, my voice, is it clear, crisp? Can you hear every syllable?
Yes, it's fine, Bob.
Then here we go. I'm going to play you some recordings, Paul, and then I'm going to ask you about stage performances of the same opera that you will hear on the recording. For a total prize of £6,400, I'm going to ask you this 6-part question. I need 6 correct answers. If you want to pass, you just say so. We'll come back at the end. If you fail on any part, remember, you will bring into play a 7th and final part, which I'm holding in reserve. In the first part of 6, Caruso made this recording of Questo Quella in 1908. Please listen. Name the city in which Caruso gave his first live performance of Rigoletto.
Can I pass on that one, Bob?
We'll come back to that. Meantime, we'll move on to part 2 of your 6-part question. Caruso made this recording on the 11th of February, 1906. Please listen. Paul, in which opera house did Caruso first perform in Martha?
At the Metropolitan Opera House, New York.
At the Metropolitan Opera House in New York is correct, in part 3 of 6. Caruso made this recording of Pagliacci in 1907. In the 3rd performance ever given of the opera, Caruso replaced Pagani as Canio. I'm going to ask you in which city this happened. First of all, please listen to this. Wonderful. In which city did Caruso replace Pagani in the 3rd performance of Pagliacci?
Can I pass on that one for the moment?
We'll pass on that and come back to that as well as the other part on which you passed. In the 4th part of 6, Paul, Caruso recorded this aria several times. I'm going to ask you in which city he first performed this opera. Please listen.
del patrio suol un regalo aperto sul crim potarti argiarti il trono vicino
That was the 1911 recording of Celeste Aida, but I want to know in which city did he perform in the opera Aida?
In St. Petersburg.
That is correct in the 4th part. In the 5th part of 6, Caruso's first appearance in Italy in this role was in Naples in 1897. I shall want to know the name of the opera. Please listen, Paul. That was the 1910 recording. Please name the opera.
Can we pass on that one, please,
We
Bob?
can pass on that one and come to all 3 parts on which you've passed. In the meantime, go to the 6th and I hope final part. In 1908, Caruso gave his first stage performance of this opera. Once again, I'll ask you the city in which this took place. Listen, Paul. That recording dates from 1906, but in which city did Caruso first perform in Il Trovatore?
In New York.
In New York, at the Met. Di Quella Pira from Verdi's Il Trovatore is correct. And now, you passed. First, on the very beginning of this question, on the first part, I'll repeat it. Please name the city in which Caruso gave his first live performance of Rigoletto.
I think it was Naples.
Naples, at the Teatro Bellini in July 1895 is correct. The other part of which you passed was part 3. In which city did Caruso replace Pagani in the 3rd performance of Pagliacci?
I'm going to leave that one again for a moment, Bob.
In part 5, Caruso's first appearance in Italy in the role of Enzo was in Naples in 1897. Paul, please name the opera.
La Gioconda.
La Gioconda is correct. Back to part 3 on which you passed. Paul, for £6,400, in which city did Caruso replace Pagani in the third performance of Pagliacci?
I think it was Salerno.
Salerno is correct for £6,400.
And that was the last in the present series. Les Dennis returns next week with the new series of Family Fortunes.
If you'd like to be a contestant in the next series of the $64,000 question, please send a stamped self-addressed envelope to the $64,000 question, Lenton Lane, Nottingham, NG7 2NA.